If you click this video because you want to ensure that you make progress towards your goals and who you want to become, then stick around to the end, because in this video I'm discussing the most important ideas surrounding the topic and providing examples as well as how you can implement them as soon as you finish the video for results in your own life. So without further ado, let's get into it. These are ideas that I got from the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, as well as Atomic Habits, which is back on my shelf back there. Before making this video, I compared all of these ideas to my own life to find validity in them, so that way I wouldn't be wasting any of your guys' time. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first and most important one is your self-image or your identity. Now, both James Clear and Maxwell Maltz stress the utter importance of this. Maxwell Maltz even goes as far to say that it is your key to success, and I added on your shackle to failure. And the reason I added that on is because in the past, that has been exactly my own issue. So in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, he brings up the example of a man who perceives himself as ugly because his ears are large and his nose is large as well. In the example, he talks about this man not being able to go to work because he is so afraid of what people think of him. In this section of the example, his behavior is being affected by his self-image. His self-image is, I'm ugly, and so his behavior is, I will hide. Now, it doesn't only affect his behavior, but it affects how he sees others' behavior as well. In the book, it talks about people laughing and him thinking it's because of him. And so this is his perceived behavior of those other individuals based off of his self-image. It is entirely likely that those individuals are laughing about a completely different thing, and he's just perceiving that behavior as a reaction to what he thinks he is. Now, I've seen the truth of this idea in both sales jobs that I've had and when I've been dating. Anytime that I have a low self-perception, I'm going to be less confident when I'm selling, and I'm going to be less confident when I'm talking to women, and that affects how much people buy, and that also affects how women see me, which will affect my results with them as well. So if you're struggling with a bad self-image, you're going to see that across all the other areas of your life as well, and it's going to hold you down. Like I said, it's going to keep you shackled. Now, if we take this the other way and say that you have a good self-image, it's going to do the exact opposite and help push you towards your goals. For example, consider yourself as a salesman with a great self-image. A salesman with a great self-image is going to see himself as someone who works hard, has a lot of persistence and determination, and pushes past more than one no for that opportunity of maybe getting a yes. Now, if we take that and compare it to the first salesman, the sales are obviously going to be a lot more drastic. So when we're doing anything, we need to keep in mind that our identity that we hold ourselves to is one of the most important things. This is when we're forming habits and new lifestyles. This is when we're trying to succeed in any goal that we've got. If my self-image says, I don't think I'm likely to succeed, it's likely going to be true because of the way your mind works, which I'm about to explain in the next idea. Now, the second idea that I got from Psycho-Cybernetics is the success mechanism. The success mechanism, as Maxwell Maltz explains, is somewhat the same as a computer's. The specific example he gives is intercepting missiles. With an intercepting missile, it's got a target, also known as a goal. When this missile is going towards the goal, it's constantly correcting so that it can eventually down the line hit the goal. So if it goes a little off track, it corrects right on track. Now, if it goes a little too far off track, it'll correct, and this causes it to zigzag its way all the way towards the goal it's trying to achieve. Now, your mind works in the exact same way. For example, I'm trying to grow my channel, and I'm going to keep doing things that I think will help grow my channel. When I make mistakes, that's me going off course. When I do something that doesn't quite line up after the mistake and I go back to something that was working, that's me correcting. And along my journey, I'm going to be zigzagging back and forth until I reach my goal. Now, your mind is already doing this completely subconsciously, which is the entire point, and it's going to be doing it no matter what. It doesn't only work for success, it also works at your detriment. This means if you have a poor self-image and you have unspecific goals, your mind is constantly moving towards the thing that is actually worse for you. What you need to do is consciously take hold of that, become aware of the system that your mind has, and use it to your advantage. This means writing specific goals, a plan to get there, and then changing your identity to those goals and moving your self-esteem up. So to do this, you need to be very specific about something. You need to always choose what will move the needle closer to the goal instead of away, and every single choice you make is a vote to the person you want to be or to the person you don't want to be. if you're trying to get in shape and your needle is right here, and you eat healthy and then you go to the gym, you've made 2 votes moving the needle towards the fit person you want to be. But if you, the next day, skip the gym, eat some cake, and drink some alcohol, then you just moved the needle completely back and you wasted the effort you made. You went back on the votes that you made to become the person you want to be. So you need to be specific, make a plan, boost your self-esteem, change your identity, and then start making the right choices moving forward towards that goal, constantly correcting and improving and optimizing. Now, the third thing, and also the third chapter in the book, is imagination, and he calls it the first key to your success. Now, what happens in your mind or in your imagination usually tends to spill into your reality. For example, with the first idea of your self-image, if you perceive yourself to be a very anxious, awkward person, the next time you talk to somebody, that will spill out and you will be anxious and awkward. The reason for this is because your mind has already had the practice inside. And so because of how our mind works, we apply experience to whatever we're working on. Your mind can't truly differentiate what you imagine vividly and a real experience. But you can use this to your advantage. If you are, going back to the first example, someone who is anxious and awkward, then you can start imagining yourself as someone who is more socially confident, more happy in social situations. You're smiling, you're smooth, you're kind, you listen well, and this will spill over into your social interactions. Not only that, but that mental practice will compound with the experiences you actually gain, being at least a little bit more socially adept, and then it will just compound from there and get better and better. Your missile, so to speak, will just keep correcting until eventually you're actually where you want to be. I'll give you guys another example. Let's say you match with a girl on a dating app and you're really excited for the date. However, the night before, you're really nervous. Now you have the image of her in your mind that you've seen on the dating app. You know what she looks like. And you're imagining talking to her and you're scared because she's pretty, you think she's out of your league, whatever. Well, now the next day when you go on the date, because you pretty much premeditated that nervousness linked to the mental image of that girl, when you start to talk to her, you will actually be more nervous. Obviously, we don't want that. So instead, imagine the opposite. Imagine you're confident, happy, relaxed, and then the next day when you go, you are much more likely to be confident, happy, relaxed, and smooth on the date. Then, just like I said before with the anxious person example, you compare your imagination and visualization to the experiences you're now gathering and start to build a portfolio in your mind of proof that you are that person, which is going to affect your identity and your self-esteem. And that's your correctional course. You're only going to get closer to being that person and getting that thing because of it. Now, just like I said with the needle example before, this is always working to your advantage or disadvantage. Your mind is always doing this, so you need to consciously and with awareness change it from negative, oh no, she's going to reject me, I'm nervous, etc., to positive, I'm confident it's going to go well, she's going to like me, I will treat her well, whatever. So essentially your identity equals your behavior and is reinforced by the actions you take. In your mind, imagine your new identity, create the behavior or do your best, and then make continuous actions or votes, as James Clear in Atomic Habits puts it, towards the person you want to be, and that's how you're going to get there. Alright guys, I promised some exercises and some ways to apply this immediately as soon as the video ended, and so here they are. In regards to your self-image, exercise 1 is taking the next negative thought you have and replacing it with a positive thought. You can never get rid of a thought process in your head, but you can change the pieces inside of that equation. So if your natural mode is to think, I'm ugly, every time you get in front of a mirror, you're immediately going to find something that you do love about the way you look, anything, and if you don't like anything about the way you look, find something you like the most, okay? You want to make progress. Find something that you like the most and replace I'm ugly with I really like the way I trim my beard, it looks good. Or wow, I really like the way my hair looks today. It's pretty. You want to replace the negative thought with a positive thought and then reinforce it with an easy action step. Another example would be, oh man, I'm such an out of shape person. Immediately say, wait, that's not true. I am starting to get into shape. And then eat an apple or go for a walk. This replacement of the negative thought with a positive thought followed up by an affirming action is you casting a vote to be the person that you want to be. And it's also moving you one step away from the person you don't want to be anymore. Now, an exercise for the second idea, which is about the mechanism of your mind. It's the missile example. You're going to want to pick a small and easy to accomplish goal, like going to the gym today, and decide you're going no matter what. At least you're just going to show up at the gym. Even if you stay there for 2 minutes and leave, you're going to show up at the gym. Now your missile is locked in on the gym. If you do this right, your mind is going to help you. So for example, your friend calls you, wants to hang out, wants to play video games, whatever. Your missile's off track. You say, no, I'm going to go to the gym today. I'll let you know if I have extra time. Missile back on track. Exercise 3, which is for the idea of imagination having a large impact on how you behave and your identity. I think this one is the most impactful for a lot of reasons, but I want you to set a goal to talk to a random stranger tomorrow. Tonight, I want you to spend 10 minutes, very easy, just imagining yourself talking to the stranger. At first, it might be a little hard to focus and then imagine yourself doing it well. But I want you to stick at it. Just imagine yourself smiling, nodding, agreeing with them, listening to them, and then breaking off the conversation with them, telling them see you later or see you around, whatever. I want you to imagine yourself as confident, relaxed, etc. Then, tomorrow when you talk to the stranger, just remember everything that you practiced in your mind and try it. Don't freak out if you didn't do it exactly how you saw in your mind. If you did at least one thing right, take that, imagine that again the next night, and then add the second thing and just try and get further and further each time. Do a little bit better. It's about progress, not perfection. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and a like about what you liked. I would really appreciate that. If you made it this far, comment, made it to the end. I love seeing which of my subscribers and viewers actually make it to the end of my videos. I really hope you found it valuable, and I will see you guys in the next one.